Hey, what's up you guys? This is the Fairy Tale Corner with me, Bangity, where I look at classic fairy tales and try to determine just what parents are trying to shove down their kids' throats when they were originally written. So this is technically the first episode, although I did film one where I talked about Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen, which is what Disney's Frozen is based on, but for various reasons which can basically be summed up as I'm technologically incompetent, that wasn't uploaded, so here we go. Since it's Easter today, I'm going to talk about a story that's generally told around this time. It's called Peter Rabbit. Normally I try to have an actual book for you guys as I'm reading this, but I don't have one for the story, so I'm just going to be reading it off of my laptop. And I guess I was a deprived kid or something because I've actually never heard this story before. I was never told or read the tale of Peter Rabbit, so this is going to be my first reaction to it and I'm going to share it with you guys. The Tale of Peter Rabbit by Beatrix Potter. Well, the first thing that I noticed is her name is one letter away from sounding like a really interesting shipment, so I'll be looking for that fanfiction later. And by really interesting, I mean really volatile and unhealthy. So it starts off, you have four little rabbit kids named Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter. We can see who the least favorite is. I guess they weren't planning to have four kids. They'd only come up with 3 interesting names. So the mom tells the kids to go run off and play, but not to wander too close to the McGregor's garden because they just captured and ate the father. He was actually baked into a pie. I feel like people get baked into pies a lot in fairy tales. Yeah, this mom seems a little too nonchalant about letting her kids go playing around rabbit-hungry farmers. So Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail do what they're supposed to. They're just going to pick blackberries, but Peter's trying to think about ways he can get into the garden. But Mom, you should have seen this coming when you decided to give all of your kids adorable pet names except one. He's obviously going to grow up to be the delinquent. So Peter gets into the garden and just binge eats on vegetables, which I guess must have been a way to try to subliminally message kids that vegetables are delicious. But Peter's apparently the worst sneak ever because while he's been stuffing himself with vegetables, he runs across Mr. McGregor, the farmer guy, who then chases him out of the garden with a hoe, and Peter loses his shoe on the way. This is starting to sound a little like Cinderella. And then the clock struck midnight and he became a handsome prince. That's how that story goes, right? So then next Peter gets caught in some bush and is all tangled up by the buttons of his coat, so he takes his coat off, and then he's running through the garden just completely naked while the farmer's still chasing him, and he gets chased into a tool shed and he dives into a bucket of water and the farmer's looking for him, but Peter's evading him and he gets out of that, and a sparrow helps him and he gets around the forest and stuff, and the farmer gets tired of chasing him and he gets out and he's gone. And then the farmer hangs up his clothes as a scarecrow and Peter runs all the way home and he gets there and he's so tired that he flops down and immediately goes to sleep, and he's too sick to eat the blackberry cake or whatever that his sisters and his mom made, and he goes to bed without any supper. And that's how it ends. Wow, okay, so what have we learned from this little nursery story? We learned that boys are inherently more troublesome than girls are, that they don't listen to their parents, and that if you like vegetables too much, then you're gonna get chased by wild farmers and lose all your clothes and get too tired to eat cake. How did this story ever come to be associated with Easter? I literally did not think about Jesus once while reading it. Like, where do Easter bunnies come from? If you know, enlighten me. No, but I mean, this story was written around the turn of the century, like 1902, I think. And I think it's just supposed to be a cautionary tale to kids saying that you gotta listen to your parents because your parents know best, and if you misbehave, then you will probably get eaten, baked into a pie like your worthless father. Or maybe you'll get lucky and just escape without any cake for dinner. So guys, help me decide what fairy tale I'm gonna read next time. Send me some suggestions down below and let me know if you like this or not, if you want me to make more of them, and if I don't hear anything, then I'm just gonna assume that that means yes, and I'm just gonna keep making more of these. So, bye!